How you doing? This is Allan from mindvisionmedia.net, and this tutorial I want to talk about how to actually remove home page widgets. We're talking about WordPress, and I'm using the responsive theme by ThemeID, and basically what I'm talking about is removing two of these widgets. You have Home Widget 1, Home Widget 2, and Home Widget 3. I'm going to remove Home Widget 2 and Home Widget 3, and I'm going to edit Home Widget 1, which will take up this extra space that Home Widget 2 and Home Widget 3 is occupying right now. Alright, so let's get started with that. First thing we want to do is we want to go to Appearance on your dashboard and Editor. Down here at the bottom here it says Editor. I want to click on that. It's going to bring us to another page, which is the editor for your theme editor, and on the right it lists all the PHP files and page templates for your theme. And for the responsive theme, it has everything listed on here on the right, and what we're looking for is the sidebar home PHP file. Okay, I want to click on that, and that will bring up the responsive sidebar home PHP file. Okay, so basically this file contains the home widgets: Home Widget 1, Home Widget 2, and Home Widget 3. This is the content that we see inside those widgets right now. We go and look at the home page. This is the content that we're looking at in that PHP file. Content that you see contained in these widgets. Okay, so this is the file we want to work on, the sidebar-home PHP file. So what I'm going to do basically, there's currently 3 widgets. I'm going to look at the code here, and I'm not a coder, okay, so I'm just using common sense and paying very close attention to this script file right here, this PHP file. Now the first thing we want to do is click inside the file and press Control A or Command A to select all. Press Command C or Control C to copy everything. Open up Notepad or a text editor. I don't recommend using Word, but Notepad is perfect. Go ahead and Command V or Control V and paste your PHP code into that file. Okay, go ahead and save that on your desktop somewhere, or in your WordPress folder, or wherever you keep your files. That way you have a copy of your original PHP file in case you make any mistakes or have to revert back. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm looking here at the code, and I see this is before the widgets. Okay, a widget container. Okay, looking at Home Widget 1 right here, and we're looking at end of Home Widget 1 right here. Okay, and then it has after widgets hook, and then here is the beginning of the container, 300 width container for Home Widget 2 right here. Okay, and I'll scroll down and look at Home Widget 3 and end of Home Widget 3. Okay, and here we are, responsive end after widgets. Okay, and here's the end of the div for Home Widget 3. Okay, alright, so now I know where the end is and where the beginning is for Home Widget 2. I'm going to select right here. I'm going to copy everything down. I'm going to drag down and come right to the end where we talked about just a few moments ago. End of Home Widget 3, and after the div, end of column 300 fit. Okay, this next line closes the div that includes Home Widget 1, so we don't want to get rid of that. Now that I have everything selected, okay, and you can pause the video and take a look at this just to see. Here's Home Widget 1. Here's the end of Home Widget 1 right here. Here's the end of Home Widget 1 hook and the close for Home Widget 1 column. So I'm selecting after that down to the end of Home Widget 3. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Control X or Command X and delete that. Actually cut it. Okay, and again we have a copy of the entire script, so you don't have to worry about it. Alright, that was the first thing we did. So now that I did that, I'm going to go ahead and update. And if we go back to the page, as you can see, there's 3 home widgets. Okay, so now when I refresh the page after we made the changes, you can see we removed Home Widget 2 and Home Widget 3. They are no longer there. All we have is Home Widget 1. Okay, so let's go back to our script here, and as we can see, there's just the one widget in the script PHP file. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, as you can see, it's still there, but the width is still 300. Okay, so with the other two, Home Widget 2 and Home Widget 3, the width was 300 on each of those. Okay, so now we're going to go back to that same file, and we could have did this in the beginning, but I wanted to save it and put it in steps for you so that you're clear on each step. We're going to change this column width, which is currently 300. We're going to change that to 900 to use up all of the space. If each of the widgets was 300 and you had 3 widgets, that's 900. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking widget 1 and making it the full width of all 3 widgets. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that, update, go back to our page, and remember we have to refresh to see our changes. Okay, and there you have it. Now Home Widget 1 is taking up the full space of the 3 original widgets. Okay, so now let's go and edit that. You want to go to Appearance and Widgets. It'll bring you to your widget page. Okay, I want to go ahead and look on the right, and you'll see Home Widget 1, which is the only one that we did not get rid of. We got rid of Home Widget 2 and Home Widget 3. So if we edited these right now, nothing would show up because we removed them from the PHP file. So we're going to go ahead and open up Home Widget 1, and nothing's inside of the widget. So it's just currently it's displaying the default content right here, the dummy text that's in the PHP file. Okay, so we're going to change that. Let's drag in a regular text widget. Okay, and I just happen to have some Lorem Ipsum text right here for this demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and copy some of that. going to paste that in there a couple of times. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And let's go back to the site, and I just added some content here, but let's go ahead and refresh, and there you have it. Home Widget 1. I didn't give it a title in that text widget, but I did paste some content in there, and there you have it right there. And as you can see, it's taking up the full 900 pixel range of all three original widgets. Okay, so let's make some other changes there. If I did give it a title, save that and refresh. Now it has a title, and that's how it would look with a title there. Okay, so it's really cool. And once again, you have your original PHP sidebar home PHP file, a saved copy of the original in case you need to fix anything. Okay, so they recommend doing changes like this on a child theme, but this is a workaround. So let's go ahead and delete this text widget out of Home Widget 1, and that will take us back to the default content. If we refresh, there you go. Alright, so now let's try a different widget inside of Home Widget 1. If you've watched any of my other tutorials, you've seen and learned about the Black Studio Tiny MCE widget, which is part of the Tiny MCE Advanced series. I believe you have to install Tiny MCE Advanced, and then you can install Black Studio Tiny MCE as an additional power pack to Tiny MCE. But anyway, that's another tutorial. Check out my other tutorials for more information on Black Studio Tiny MCE. But it's a very powerful plugin. I use it a lot, and I talk about it a lot. So let's drag one of those inside Home Widget 1. Okay. Now, since we have full editing capabilities, the same as we would for a page or a post, inside of Home Widget 1 using the Black Studio Tiny MCE widget, I'm going to go ahead and add a table here. Let's do 5 columns, and we'll keep 2 rows. We'll align it center, and there we go. So now I'm going to add just some images. I'm going to choose thumbnail right here, 150 by 150. Okay, you can choose medium or full size for your images when you're inserting them into a page or a post or inside of a widget. I'm going to go ahead and choose thumbnail 150 by 150. I'm going to insert, and that's in our first column of the table. I'm going to go click in the second column, add another image, thumbnail. Okay, just going to keep adding images here. I've got 5 columns, so when I finish here, we'll have 5 images. Okay, and there we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images in a table inside of the Black Studio Tiny MCE widget, which is inside of Home Widget 1, the only widget that we have occupying the home page right now. So I'm going to go ahead and select these 5 columns, this second row in the table. Now that I have them all selected, and using the tool additions from the Black Studio Tiny MCE, I'm going to merge table cells. So now it's one cell. Okay. If you use Word, Microsoft Word or Excel, you know about cells and tables. You know that merging and centering cells is a common tool and practice with tables. But now that I've merged that cell into one, I'm going to go ahead and paste some of that text in there. Okay. And we'll just give it a separation here. And we'll save that. Okay. Go ahead and close that Black Studio Tiny MCE widget inside of Home Widget 1. Let's go back to the site now. So if you remember what we did, we basically deleted Home Widget 2 and 3. We were left with Home Widget 1, but it was only 300 pixels wide. We changed the width to 900 to take up the full space of the 3 widgets. We edited some content in here and put a title. Now I've added 5 images inside of a table, and the table had 2 rows. In the second row I pasted some text. So when I refresh the page, that's what's going to show up. Okay, and there you have it. We have a table inside of the widget with 5 images, and underneath that, in the second row of the table, I left the border on so you can see the table. There are 2 paragraphs of text that I pasted in. Now let's say we want to just add an image to this text that we have inside of this section or this row of the table. Let's go back to the widget area, the Home Widget, open up the Black Studio Tiny MCE widget, and we'll click inside the row with the text, and I'll click my cursor where I want the image to go, click on Add Media, and I'll just select an image. It's pretty small, so it shouldn't take up too much. Alright, now I have an image in there. I'm going to click the Quick Edit button for the image. I'm going to align it left so the text wraps around it. See that? I'm going to align it left. It allows the text to wrap around it. And I'm going to drop it down to 80%. Take the link off. And there we have the image with the text wrapped around it inside of the text row of the table that we created. Alright, so I'll go ahead and save that. Close that up. Go ahead and close Home Widget 1. And now when we refresh the page, this text row will have an image incorporated into the text. Okay? And there you have it. Alright, so just another way to edit the homepage content. As you can see though, the widget will respond to the content inside your widget. So it's an easy fix to adjust the table width. And as you can see, there's some gaps inside each cell of the table on this row with these images that can be tightened up. It's not going to be a tutorial on tables, but I could center align all of these images in this row and adjust the table widths. And in fact, 5 images is quite a bit to try to cram into this space given the size of the thumbnails. You want your images to be effective, so you know, I could adjust the size of the images to bring in this blowout section here that's past the 900 mark, or I could adjust the table widths. But let's just demonstrate how. Let's say I just remove this image, the 5th image, and remove that column in the table. Save that. Let's go back, and now I remove this 5th image. Let's see if that takes care of this blowout right here. There you go. It's no longer blown out. So you can see there's space within the table in each cell that it can be adjusted to keep your column width in line with the rest of the body of the web page. But anyway, I hope that was helpful. It's a pretty cool little technique, and of course you can add widgets beneath this. Once you're editing inside of a home widget, whichever widget it is, you can drag in another widget if you'd like. Go ahead and paste in some of that Lorem Ipsum code, save that, and now there should be another widget beneath the Black Studio Tiny MCE widget we just created with some text in it that will show up down here. Okay, so we'll refresh, and there you have it. So you could build articles, sections, do all types of stuff. I'll go ahead and give that a title. Okay, named it second widget. We'll refresh, and there you go. So now you have two horizontal widgets styles underneath your home page instead of the three small vertical widgets that were the default for the responsive home page widget area. Alright, so hope this was helpful. My name's Allan. If you have any questions, contact me at mindvisionmedia.net. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Alright,